let's get started with this craziness about how many people have the Amazon device. I think it's called Alexa or some such device in the home. Well, I have never liked the idea of having one of those Amazon Alexas or any other type of Fourth Amendment violating device in my house. Now, I know some of these TVs listen to you, your phones listen to you. I get it. But look, I'm paranoid. And they say that the paranoid survive, right? And it is not paranoia if they're really out to get you, okay? And I'm going to show you how Amazon's out to get you. Listen, go ahead, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up on this stream so people can check it out. Join us for a few minutes on this nice Saturday afternoon. At least it's nice here on the East Coast. All right. Hit that join button. Find out what we have to offer in our members only section, the Officers Club here on YouTube. All right. All right, guys, if you got one of those Amazon Alexas in your house or something that is hooked up, you know, they talk about the Internet of Things where everything's connected to the internet. Bad idea. My friends all have that Alexa. My dad has it. And I've always said, I don't want it. All right. I don't want this thing in my house. I don't want to be hooked into the internet any more than I have to. I do remember a time when you didn't have to be hooked into the internet in order to have a productive day. Well, that day is over. Okay. So I'm not a Luddite. But check this out. Amazon shuts down customers' smart home devices after delivery drivers' false claim of racism. Okay. Amazon shut off a man's smart home devices for a week after a delivery driver falsely accused the customer of hurling a racial slur via a doorbell intercom, the tech giant confirmed Thursday. So Amazon took it upon itself to be this guy's father, basically, and discipline him. Now, mind you, he'd already bought all of this equipment. If there were any monthly fees and, associated with it, I'm sure he was paying for it, but they didn't care. They said, our driver has been called a name. Okay. So without investigating the claim and giving the customer the benefit of the doubt, they just cut his services off. Now, why are we talking about this on a Soldiers of Finance channel? Because it shows you the direction that these corporations want to go in. You will own nothing and be happy. Well, you will own nothing. Okay. So they cut this guy's service off, didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. And this is something that he's paid for. Now, get this. The driver said that he heard a racial slur. Now, the driver is probably one of these people who believes that a snowstorm is racist because there are no black flakes. There are a lot of people running around here today that are hyper focused on the color of our skin. It's insane to me, but whatever. Brandon Jackson is the name of the guy who owns the home, who got his services shut off. Brandon Jackson is black, okay? Andrew Jackson and George Washington. You don't find any more white Jacksons or Washingtons, do you? Interesting. But this guy, Jackson, Brandon Jackson, is black. Said he found himself digitally exiled by the company on May 25th, less than 4 hours after an Amazon delivery driver dropped off a package at his home and reported him for being racist. Now, let's stop there. Digitally exiled, because Amazon controls what he bought, what's in his house, right? How difficult do you think it would be then? Look at that central bank digital currency. How difficult do you think it would be to be shut out of your if you said the wrong thing, okay? Made the wrong Facebook post, right? Didn't buy the right beer, all right? And they will be able to tell what beer you're buying once we have a central bank digital currency, all right? The homeowner who detailed the saga in a Medium post, must be some kind of social media thing, said he was informed of the unwarranted lockout after contacting Amazon when he realized he couldn't interact with his smart home devices. So Amazon cut him off and didn't even bother to call him and explain to him why. He had to be proactive and call them. I was told that the driver who had delivered my package reported receiving racist remarks from my Ring doorbell. Okay. Look, racist remarks are not illegal, number one. Okay. Now, as a driver, if you don't like what you heard, you can go back to Amazon and say, I don't feel comfortable delivering there anymore. It's a hostile environment. Okay, fine. But to then come and shut this guy's service off because of an allegation, all right? Again, this is where we're going as more and more corporations start to feel as though they are your Lord and Master. Jackson, who is an engineer at Microsoft, was quick to point out flaws in the allegation, including that none of his family members were actually home when the package was dropped off. Okay. So I guess the doorbell, the electronic doorbell is racist. Possible, right? Milk is racist. I just read before I got on this live stream that exercise was racist. So he then reviewed footage from the various surveillance cameras set up outside his home and confirmed no such racial slur was uttered. He says instead, Eufy, which is some kind of like a Ring doorbell competitor, Eufy doorbell had issued an automated response. The response was, "Excuse me, can I help you?" Now, how you get a racial slur from "excuse me, can I help you?" only a deranged mind would know. But this was enough for Amazon to cut this guy off of his service. Okay. The driver, who was walking away and wearing headphones, he was listening to rap music, must have misinterpreted the message. This is what Jackson is saying. Nevertheless, by the following day, my Amazon account was locked and all my Echo devices were logged out. That's right. It's Amazon Echo. And what's the other one? There's Siri, there's Echo, there's a few of them. Alexa. Okay. All right. So Yuji Ogura says, my Alexa is listening to me every day in every way. Better use headphones for this video. Right. Exactly. Hey, you guys ever had this happen? Put it in the chat if you've had this happen, where you're talking about like a product, okay? Not a specific brand, but just a product. And you will see, if you're watching, like if you're on social media, on like a news site, you will start to see advertisements for brands associated with that product that you were talking about. That happens all the time. That proves these phones are listening. Smart TV, they are listening. People called me crazy because when the camera first got on the computer, I made a little piece of cardboard and covered mine up. And I've been vindicated since then. Everybody's doing it now. And if you're not, maybe you should. Jackson insisted he supported Amazon taking extra precautions to protect delivery. This is where I disagree with this guy. To protect delivery drivers, but questioned why he had to be locked out of his account for a week as an internal probe was carrying out. Now, look, safety is paramount. I get that. But no, I don't support Amazon if they're going to arbitrarily interfere with a service I'm paying for when there has been no physical assault. Okay. There's been an allegation of, I guess you could say, verbal abuse, an allegation. All right. But no, you got to at least call me. But again, this is the direction we're going in. Corporations are setting themselves up to be the arbiters of speech and many, many other things. So if we tie this to the financial services industry, banking in particular, the CBDC in specific, then I think this is an intelligent audience. You can see the potential for disaster. Despite promptly submitting video evidence immediately upon learning of the issue, my account remained locked. Despite numerous calls and emails, the homeowner said his account wasn't reinstated until May 31st. Okay. Yeah. Try getting in touch with Amazon or Google. Okay. Or Twitter or any of these companies. It's not like the old days. There's no one to talk to. Okay. You submit a ticket and they'll get back to you when they get back to you. And part of the reason why is because they're these companies, a lot of them are really as big or bigger than governments. A lot of them are bigger than local governments for sure. Okay. You ever tried dealing with your local or state government? Okay. Do you know why the Motor Vehicle Administration is so bad? It's because they have no competition. Okay. You got to come in there. And the same is true to a large extent and becoming ever more true with media, with, computer applications, internet search, on and on and on. It seems more reasonable to handle such issues in a more compartmentalized way rather than a blanket shutdown. He's talking like an engineer from Microsoft. Okay. So he's looking at it extremely analytically. I'm just, I'm funny like that. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of freedom. In a statement, an Amazon spokesperson confirmed the ordeal and said the company was working to prevent similar situations from happening in the future. We work hard to provide customers with a great experience while also ensuring drivers who deliver packages feel safe. This is according to Simone Griffin. I'd like to ask Ms. Griffin this question. What are you going to do with that driver? Okay, he's got headphones on. All right. Now, think about how this would stand up in a court of law. So you said you heard something, right? But you were walking away and you had headphones on. So you said you heard a racial slur, right, sir? Do you remember what song you were listening to or what you were listening to on the radio? Is it possible through the earphones you may have thought something was said to you, but it was really over your earphones? What's your playlist look like, sir? Okay. So just beware. Be very, I will never allow one of those active listening devices in my house. And again, I know phone is listening. I know that the smart TVs are listening. We only have one. Well, we have two TVs in the house. This is the second one, but this one runs all day with the sound down. If something comes across there of it's Bloomberg. I want to see financial news because financial services company. All right, guys. So that's what's happening. Just be very aware of the direction we're going in. Check out the channel because we're always talking about how to set up parallel systems so that you will be less susceptible to, the whims of corporations. Got to strive for self-sufficiency.